The purpose of this episode is to show you thought leadership examples. A lot of people hear the phrase thought leadership and immediately assume that it only works for celebrities or massive influencers or people with huge audiences. But some of the most commercially successful thought leaders online have surprisingly small channels, not viral fame. They don't have an entertainment empire or a massive production team, just highly strategic positioning. And what's fascinating is this strategy works in industries that most people would consider boring. Annuities, peptides, parenting, law. These aren't flashy viral niches, and yet some of the people dominating these industries online are generating enormous businesses through thought leadership. So what are they doing differently? And why are the tactical experts quietly outperforming much larger creators? Well, that's what this episode's all about. One of the biggest objections that people have when they hear about thought leadership strategy is, okay, but does this actually work? And honestly, that's a fair question. Most of online marketing today revolves around virality or entertainment or trends and all about audience growth and subscribers. But thought leadership works differently. The goal is not broad attention. In fact, it's the opposite. The goal is authority. And in this episode, I want to show you real-world examples across many different industries so that you can see what thought leadership actually looks like when implemented strategically. As we dive into the examples, I want you to notice something important. These examples all look different on the surface. Different industries, different personalities, different audiences, different businesses, different styles. But underneath all of them is the exact same pattern. They built searchable trust, not entertainment, not virality, not trend chasing, but they identified what their dream clients were searching for online, and they systematically became the best answer online. That's the pattern. Let's start with Stan, the annuity man. Now, there are hundreds of insurance agents trying to use YouTube to grow their business. Most fail because they create broad content. Their focus is on promotion and creating promotional content, and then they give general financial commentary. They're chasing views. They want views and subscribers and define that as success. So Stan the Annuity Man did something very different. He answered extremely specific annuity questions, very technical questions, questions most creators would consider boring, questions that don't go viral. If you look at his channel, you'll see questions about specific annuity riders, specific policy structures, retirement scenarios. And here's what's interesting. That boring specificity became his competitive advantage because the people searching for those questions online were incredibly valuable leads. These are not passive viewers. They're people actively researching financial decisions. They're emotionally invested. By the time they're asking questions like this, they are looking for expertise. And because Stan systematically answered those questions with consistency and with personality, he became the go-to authority. We've helped Stan film hundreds and hundreds of these videos, and eventually, when people searched any annuity question online, they find Stan again and again and again. That is category dominance. Today, he's become the #1 annuity agent in America by 4 times. Not because he went viral, but because boring specificity wins commercially. Now let's talk about Reagan, Archibald, and the peptides and men's health space. This category is crowded. There are countless creators talking about peptides online. Many of them have videos that go viral, but most of them focus on broad wellness content. They try and be entertaining and follow the trends and provide generalized education about peptides. Reagan approached it tactically. Instead of trying to become a massive influencer, he focused on category ownership, very specific peptide questions, specific health concerns, specific outcomes, specific search intent. And what's incredible is how fast he built momentum. Within 1 year, he went from being relatively unknown online to dominating multiple peptide-related categories, not because of virality, not because of massive subscriber counts, but because dream clients repeatedly found him when searching for answers. This is one of the most important things to understand about thought leadership. You don't need to become broadly famous. You need to become unforgettable to the right audience. Imagine going from 0 search traffic online and a year later having 100,000 views from search a month. That is valuable. Another example I'm really excited to show you is Nicolene Peck in the parenting space. Her story demonstrates the power of compounding authority. Now, we've built many successful branches, many categories that she owns. We started looking for a new one, and we identified dozens and dozens of parenting questions all around gentle parenting, very specific questions that parenting were consistently searching online. Now, here are our expectations for this new branch. The growth is going to look slow, right? And when other people experience that, most creators quit because strategically built thought leadership content often looks unimpressive in the beginning. But when you stay with it, something predictable happens. You actually take over and own that category. You start out owning small questions, and then you answer more questions and you start to gain momentum. Out of 50 questions, the higher percentage of those that you own, the growth curve of traffic and search views starts to become exponential. YouTube and Google begin recognizing, wow, this creator comprehensively answers this topic. And eventually, Nicolene will own this category as well. Category ownership is built by this compounding or building of momentum. So one video gets it started, 10 videos helps, 20 videos starts to build momentum, but 50 videos creates authority. It builds category dominance. Another powerful example is Dr. Carrie Ann Perkins. This example highlights something different: trust-based search. Now, people searching for medical or health-related answers are emotionally different than passive viewers. When someone searches for help in health, there's an emotional investment. There's concern, or there's urgency, maybe there's fear, or maybe there's hope. They're not looking for entertainment. They're looking for someone that they can trust and get advice from. Educational content works incredibly well in this environment because it lowers defenses. The audience searched first. They initiated the relationship. And when the content genuinely helps them understand their situation, then trust develops naturally. That's what makes search-based thought leadership so powerful in trust-heavy industries like health or law, finance, or any consulting type business. Now let's talk about Jay Townsend. Jay is a really fun example because his success demonstrates the importance of positioning expertise correctly. There are many very intelligent experts online who stay invisible because nobody can find them, not because of their expertise. They have expertise, but because they lack positioning. Now, Jay understood how to align his expertise with what people are actively searching for. And when expertise becomes strategically positioned, then your visibility changes dramatically. This is one of the biggest misconceptions about thought leadership. People think if I'm good enough, people will eventually discover me. But there is no truth in that. Expertise without discoverability stays invisible. Now, thought leadership happens when expertise becomes searchable. One of the industries where I've seen this strategy work over and over again is real estate investing. And what's really cool to me is how many different categories exist inside of one industry. I've helped Noel Randall dominate the vacation rental space. I've helped Ted Thomas and Sean Higgins in the tax deed investing space. I've helped someone who I'll keep anonymous in the land investing space, and another person own the short sell category. I've built someone in the fix and flip category, and now I'm beginning to work with someone in the commercial development space. What's important for you to understand is that each one of these is its own category ecosystem. Each one has different questions, different search behavior, different dream clients, and different opportunities for ownership. This is why thought leadership works so powerfully. You don't need to dominate all of real estate investing. That would be impossible. But you dominate a branch, a niche, right? A category. You systematically answer all the questions inside that category until you become the obvious authority. That's how small creators beat massive creators. Huge creators always go broad. They always follow trends. They're trying to go viral. But category domination happens through specificity, and when someone owns that category, the quality of their leads change dramatically. The audience finding them is not random, but these are people who are actively searching for help with a very specific type of investing strategy. And as you can imagine, this creates a very high qualified, like a referral quality lead. So over time, those questions continued getting searches and they continue generating leads year after year. That authority compounds. Hopefully you can see this important contrast. Large creators often dominate broad entertainment attention, but tactical experts dominate search intent. And commercially, those are very different things. I know many creators personally with millions of subscribers who struggle financially when the algorithm shifts. And I know highly tactical experts with small channels generate multiple 7 or even 8 figures of revenue. Why? Well, broad entertainment audiences are not the same as referral quality leads. Thought leadership creates trust before the sales conversations ever happen. When people repeatedly encounter your expertise as they research their problems, when they finally contact you, they already trust you, and that dramatically changes things. What's heartbreaking to me is that many experts who could genuinely help people never become visible, not because they don't have that expertise, but because they follow the wrong strategy. They're chasing virality. They try to look like influencers. They're creating this broad content, trying to entertain. They optimize for attention instead of authority. Then meanwhile, the tactical experts that are quietly building category ownership behind the scenes, they own the space and they thrive. So that's why some of the most commercially successful content online often looks unimpressive to outsiders. There's going to be small numbers of views, small numbers of subscribers, very, very specific titles that aren't the most exciting, but underneath all that, there's massive, massive success. So the deeper lesson behind all these case studies is that thought leadership is not about becoming famous. It's about becoming discoverable and trusted by the right audience. That's the whole game. So once you understand that, you can stop obsessing over the vanity metrics. Stop comparing yourself to entertainment creators. Stop chasing the trends, and instead start building an evergreen infrastructure that will compound over time. If you want to understand the actual system that we use to build category dominance for all of these examples, how we identified the right questions and how they position themselves where their dream clients are already searching, and how they are able to turn evergreen content into referral quality lead generation, then watch my episode on thought leadership strategy. In that episode, I break down the complete framework behind discoverability, category ownership, evergreen positioning, and building authority that compounds for years. I'll see you there.